the insane way to scale your coaching consultant, any sort of high or mid-ticket service to 30 to 50K months by leveraging an AI personal brand that can create hundreds of pieces of content for you. There's two kind of options here. It could be you could be the AI personal brand trained on you, or you can just have someone else acting as someone that works at your kind of business to then convert them. So essentially, there are two types of people right now with personal brands, right? There's person one, they're spending hours and hours of content, time ideating, creating content, editing content. It takes a lot of time, and again, your volume is maxed out, right? How much pieces of content can you create spending, for example, 2 hours a day doing it, right? Is there's a cap, right, on how many times you can sit there and record content, right? And number two, those who don't do content right now, you're just not going to be competing with your competitors. You need to have your personal brand, and you need to be able to stand out from everyone else out there. So you do need a personal brand in this day and age, especially if you're in the information kind of space. And so right now there's a huge solution that's coming out, and we've been testing and it works beautifully, where you can essentially create an AI avatar version, like I said, of yourself or of someone else that can act for the face of your company. Essentially, we're essentially going to be giving value to your ideal customers. You'll stand out from competitors because now you have a personal brand. Your conversions rate increase because when people come to you, they're more likely to buy. It's going to be completely automated, and your volume is infinite, right? You can do as much as you can handle. So there's really three parts of the, you could say, process that gets a customer from not knowing you to kind of converting, right? So the first thing is the attention phase. You need to gain attention. And so what this is a mechanism of attention, creating hundreds of pieces of content as an AI personal brand. This can be on IG, this can be on LinkedIn, this can be on TikTok. This is specifically, especially this video is going to be more in short form. But this could be any of those short form kind of sites where you can then educate them. The second thing is you need to nurture that attention that's coming from there. And there's loads of different ways to nurture. You can have a free community, free resources, ebooks, YouTube, webinars. I'm not going to go into all of them, right? This is going to be mainly over the attention mechanism and giving you an example of how you can nurture and convert them, just for those who would, just want an idea to help you out with that. But yeah, you nurture them and then you convert them. This could be with a setter to a book call, and then you close them, right? So they're learning you from here, then trusting you here, and then they're converting over here. And so I'm going to break down all of that for you. So first thing you need to do is train your AI avatar. Like I said, it's either going to be on you or someone else, but let's say it's going to be on you. You want to go on HeyGen, create an account, and then start train yourself on the motion. So this is specifically for motion, right? The way you move, the way you kind of look at the camera, etc. And then for your voice, you want to use 11 Labs. You can use the voice on HeyGen, but it's not as good as 11 Labs. So you want to integrate them together. So your motion here, you're going to go 11 Labs and do your voice on here. And today I'm going to go through a couple of the SOPs. So for motion, so HeyGen, have it at least 3 minutes long, but honestly, the more your footage you're kind of putting in, the more realistic it's going to be. Make sure it's 4K quality. The best quality is going to be better. Camera position, keep it kind of centered towards the camera, kind of shoulder on in a way. Lighting, make sure there's no shadows. Movement and positioning, head position, your head should remain center of the screen, so don't be too far right or too far left. Face visibility, keep your face visible at all times. Don't cover your face, do anything like that. Just really straight to the camera, etc. Angle, you can slightly turn your head up to 30 degrees, 45 degrees, but nothing too far, because it didn't get to, it's quite bad when you use the AI, but just nothing past 45 degrees. Stability, avoid checking the camera. Just make sure it's stable, head on kind of video kind of recording. Then common mistakes people make is they're moving very fast. Don't move too fast. Don't do like this kind of stuff. All right, just chill out there. Just nice slow movements. Poor lighting. Make sure your lighting is good. Like my lighting right now is not insanely good. You want to have some sort of light next to the camera coming on you. It's going to be very good that way. Camera angle, keep the camera level with your face. Don't tilt anything. So those are really the main SOPs for the motion. And like, let me clarify something real quick. The type of videos this personal brand would do is kind of sit down, head on video. These are the best type of videos. So like moving about, all that stuff, not yet. But I'm talking about kind of sat down, talking to the camera type videos. I'll go more into that in a second, give you an example. The second thing is the voice SOPs. So for 11 Labs. So when you record your voice in there, you just ask ChatGPT honestly for the most common language words in the English language and record reading over it, right? Because especially when you start feeding it scripts, etc., and it's going to use a lot of these common words, you want it to make sure it's actually pronouncing that correctly, the way you pronounce it. And the second thing is speaking in excited kind of tonality, because it seems the the AI kind of dimmers your kind of voice, and so you just want to speak more excitedly than normal, to essentially have it more realistic to your kind of voice. So now you've trained your AI kind of personal brand. By the way, I'm not going to go through going on Hey Gen. This video would be too long. It's just giving you kind of tips on how to do that yourself. And with a working brain, I'm sure you'll figure it out. The second thing is create hundreds of pieces of scripts with CTAs at the end of it. So it's going to be something like follow me to learn more, comment this keyword to access this, DM me to learn, XYZ, right? Because if you create all these content, you create hundreds of pieces of content a month and they're just watching it, you're going to lose a lot of potential customers, right? So always have a CTA at the end. And one of the best ways to help you create all these scripts and all these kind of CTAs, etc., is leveraging Claude and to do it autopilot. So on Claude, you'll be able to create projects. You need kind of the premium plan. It's like $20, $30 a month, where essentially you can name it short form scripts, and then you can then inject it with all your knowledge about your offer and your niche, etc. So you want to feed it data here by giving it data on your offer, what problem you're solving, your target market, misconceptions about your niche, etc., your offer. Feed Claude with viral and converting scripts already proven in your niche and tell it to break down the structure of it. For example, it might break down a really viral video in your niche with hook value CTA, and then you just tell it to create content around that. And then captions, it will help you create captions autopilot. And one thing, free resources. So if you wanted to do many different free resources, you can ask it to create it for you, and then you can then feed it on what free resources you have. So let's say you have 5 different free resources you're given. You then want it to create scripts on loads of scripts around these resources and giving it away, tips, etc., viral type content. And then the different videos is going to have different things, right? Different CTAs regarding, for example, DMing you for this thing, comment this thing, and you can leverage ManyChat over here, which I'll get to essentially automatically send people stuff. But that's the first thing, right? That's the second thing. You create the AI avatar, you've created scripts on autopilot. It's best to do market research to see what's popular in your niche, and then you get to break it down and create content around that. But if not, you can just ask it other frameworks out there. You can watch YouTube videos regarding short form content frameworks. But the best ones are usually like hook, value, CTA, hook, be controversial, etc., CTA at the end. But you'll be able to just go ahead and do that. You want it between 30 seconds, a minute and a half long. These are going to be specifically for short form content pieces, but you'll be able to create all of this pretty much automated. The second thing to do is to create and edit hundreds of pieces of content. I did say that it's pretty much all automated, but one thing that's not automated is the editing process. So let me just show you an example of just one of the avatars.
Ever wondered how to elevate
so you can see how realistic it is, right? Like, just watch this video for a second.
Ever wondered how to elevate your everyday routine? Let me show you SDF, the game changer you didn't know you needed. This product redefines convenience and style, making your life smoother and more efficient. Curious to see what SDF can do for you? Head to the profile for all the details.
I don't know if you could tell, but that was AI. It's getting more and more realistic. And if you're not going to be taking advantage of this and creating all this kind of content autopilot, you're going to be left behind. Your competitor is going to out volume you, right? So it's only getting more realistic. So it's getting insane, right? So now you've got the attention vehicle in place. Now to nurture that attention. So you're going to give them the free assets like I mentioned before. Like, for example, it might be an ebook. You leverage ManyChat. You give it to them if they comment a certain keyword. It could be a webinar, it could be any sort of nurture mechanism, right? Depending on your offer, your niche, etc., all these kind of things. But just an example, you give them a free asset in the ManyChat, and then you go for a setting conversation in the DM after giving them their free piece of resource. You can place a setter in your DMs to interact with prospects in your ecosystem. These are going to be people that essentially do what you tell them to do. Like, for example, when you tell them to comment, DM, or follow. You want someone interacting with these guys, going through setting scripts. So for example, we follow this kind of structure. I'm not going to go all into the kind of setting script right now, but you can follow me and DM me on IG, Ziad.info, and I'll send you over the doc. But after that, after you set them, you get them a book call, you close them, and get them your clients multi-six-figure results. That's our results. But let me tell you the truth here. The truth is you can't automate 100% of the content. Let me be honest with you. So you have to be strategic with the way you create your content. You can't just have sit-down videos when one of the biggest reasons why people in your niche could buy is something else, right? So for example, let's take BizOp. There's two parts of the brain why people will buy from you. There's going to be the logical side of the brain and the emotional side of the brain. The logical side of the brain where you can sell them on, step by step, giving them value, etc. That's also the logic side of the brain. But most people really are on the emotional side. So that's why you see people like Samu or Naha and all these people at Iman Ghatzi. They're selling people on a lot of the time lifestyle, right? They are going out, showing you the car, showing you all this kind of stuff, right? Iman Ghatzi evens both out. Samu Naha really does more lifestyle content. But the fact of the matter is, if you're in, the BizOps space, for example, you want to even both out. So 70% could be value, 30% could be kind of lifestyle content, which you have to do more manually, right? You don't want to just completely do automated because it might not be best for you at that particular stage. So you want to be strategic of the way and understand your audience intimately. Like another example is Jim, like a fitness kind of coach. Like, yes, you can maybe do 40-50% automated, but then you also want to be in the gym actually doing that kind of content, right? Which right now can't be totally automated. But yeah, that's the truth of it all. And the next thing is, like I mentioned, the editing is not as automated. You have to do that yourself. But everything else you can really automate and scale it. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you're a coach, consultant, anyone that really has a mid to high ticket offer and you want to leverage AI personal brands to scale you, then there'll be a book a call link below. We can talk more about it, see if you're a good fit. This is not a good fit for everyone,